Welcome to Show and Tell Saturdays on Tea Time with Afternoon Social. Join me as we hear from my guest for the week as she tells us about her business, products, services, podcasts, and other fun stuff. Grab your favorite cup of tea. It's party time. Good afternoon and welcome back to Tea Time with Afternoon Social. I'm Teresa Lauterbach, your host, and we have a wonderful guest this week again, Melinda Dueck. She's been with us the last couple of days, so go back and watch the last two videos. She had some great information that she shared with us, and had a good time with coffee time yesterday. But Melinda lives in Costa Rica, and she hosts a resource blog site called Connecting with Little Ones, where she shares information for moms of little ones based on her own experiences and struggles on her mothering journey. And she's a happy wife and mother of 4 little ones aged 6 years to 6 months. And today on Show and Tell Saturdays, she's going to talk to us about building connections with your little ones through her blog and her YouTube channel. So she's going to share about how she gets this information out to all of you, or what she likes to share. And Melinda, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
So you have your blog site. So why don't you go ahead and explain what that is and what you do on your YouTube channel.
Okay. It's called Connecting with Littles. Part of the name came about because there was no other of the other names that I would have looked for. They were taken already, when I made my blog and YouTube channel. But it kind of sums up what it started about exactly a year ago, or now in December. It'll be about a year ago that my mom was actually looking for an online job. And somewhere in what I was looking at, I came across this course for blogging and YouTube. And so I told my mom, well, she might be interested. Well, she didn't have any idea of what she would do with it exactly, but she was going to help me out to get started. And I had 100 ideas. I just never before realized that I could use these platforms this way, or hadn't thought of it or something. But as I got into it, I've always loved to write and so on. I've just never had a way to share what I wrote.
Uh-huh.
And then I suddenly realized, well, I had a bit of an informal blog, but I just never understood all the details that could go into it and so on. And so then I got into it, and I found out it's something I just love doing because, when you're a busy mom of little ones, time is limited, yeah. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I here didn't have many other options of doing work or something, but one kind of ends up spinning in a little circle, and I felt like I wasn't growing myself, in anything, just in being a mom, learning a little bit more of sleep routines and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted something else, a hobby. I didn't really have anything. So I found this. My mom helped me get started. Then now she found another job she loves, so that's perfect. She has her own thing, and I have mine.
Yeah.
A little hobby that I can do in between times that I'm not stuck to certain hours. It's just where I can write my heart out to other moms about the things that I have learned in my 6.5 years of being a mom. And I guess I talk too much too, so I like talking, and so I decided, well, why not do YouTube right away too? So I have my blog and YouTube channel where, as I can, which isn't even every week, I put up new stuff for young busy moms like myself. The tagline I have is inspirations for the heart, and then a little bit of homemaking and homeschooling for busy moms with little ones.
Uh-huh.
So it's sharing with others who are going through the same things. I am just so that we know that we're not alone. Some of the things I would have wished I would have known is starting out how overwhelming motherhood can be. And simple things like that, how to manage with 4 little ones in a small house, how to get the joy out of it, how to give them a happy childhood, my children a happy childhood, because happy childhood doesn't depend on what you have or don't have. It depends more on the attitude of the attitude, the atmosphere that I give the home, or my husband too. But since I talk to moms like this and I'm home more, just all those things I love to share with moms, and I have big dreams of how I'll share more in the future, and things I'll add to it, and more resources and maybe some courses and so on. But that's all just little by little as I'll have time, because I had my baby this year, my fourth one, and so on. I sometimes look back and wonder, well, how did I actually put so much up already, which isn't that much in this year.
Right.
But yeah, it's just where I love to share what I have learned with other young moms. Specifically, anyone's welcome to stop by, but that's specifically who I direct my blog and YouTube channel to. So yeah.
Yeah, we're hearing from another country over there.
Oh yeah, and hearing a little bit about Costa Rica along the way too.
Right.
Because my videos, often the best time I find to take them is, I can't do them very formally, is outside on my walks with my children. So then you see a little bit about the landscape around here, and little details that might be different in my mothering journey than if I lived, for example, in the US or Canada, where I have lived some. So, oh, my baby's getting fuzzy, so I'll pick him up, but that's okay. That is real life, a real mom life too. He shows up somewhat on my videos too, because he decides to not always be happy.
Yeah.
There you go, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, anyone is welcome to stop in there and see my videos, or read, or send me an email, ask me questions if you have. Not that I have all the answers. It's just sharing from one mom's heart to another.
Okay, and then have you thought about, are you eventually going to write a book, or turn some of your blog information to a book, or have you thought about that kind of journey?
Yes, certainly. That is I've started working on a book, but it could take a few years. It's in my dreams, in my long-term dreams, and so we'll see. I don't even have any definite plan or anything, so it's nothing I can say, oh, my book will be titled that, or will be coming out then, or whatever. But I'm working on one, and if nothing else, I can eventually compile some blog posts that, if I eventually have a bunch or something, just in book form. I don't know, I have so many big dreams of what I would do if I would just sit at the computer all day, but then I wouldn't be living the real life that I'm talking about. So
yeah, it's kind of a hard mix between, okay, I want to share what I'm doing, but yet I can't be there all. I've got to still be doing it. I can't share it.
Yeah. I share about being a good mom. I have to be a good mom and stop sharing sometimes, just in order to be the good mom that I want to share about.
Yeah, it's kind of a circular ambition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what is some of the when we've talked about life hacks and just things that you're experiencing with mom, what are some of the other favorite topics that you like to share with mothers on your site?
Well, yeah, most of it is like our heart and where our heart is, like the simple things about taking time to smile to our children. Like, I think of when we come into the room to where our baby is, we try to get a smile out of them, talk to them, look them in the eye. But as they get older, we sometimes forget to do that.
Uh-huh.
That's one thing I like to encourage moms, that see your older children too. They need. I one day did an experiment to see. I'd look at each of my older ones and talk to them till they would smile back, just like I do to the baby, kind of, a little bit more, not so babyish maybe, and let them see that they're seen, and And so things like that, things about mom's heart. Where is our heart? Where is our mind? What do we need to do? Well, sometimes we need healing from our own past. Like, I don't even say I had any abusive or traumatic childhood, but no one's past is perfect.
Yeah.
If I have things that are not healed, then I can't be the mom either that I want to be. And so it's about mom's heart, about our relationship with God, how to take time when we're so busy ourselves to fill our own cups up that we have to give to our children. I also like to share, about homemaking in an imperfect home. That's one thing I really like to talk about, because my home is far from perfect. It's unfinished. It's small, but it can be a happy home even so.
Right.
And about homeschooling, because we're just starting into the homeschooling journey, but there aren't really any good. I was homeschooled part of my growing up years, and there aren't really any good school options around here, especially if we're doing it mostly in English, because the schools are Spanish. And it's something I've always wanted to do too, except now with the busyness of children, I see, well, sometimes it would be easier to have a school to send them to. But just sharing a bit of homeschooling for young moms starting out, and sharing a bit about my life out here, because it could be interesting for some people to see a different culture and ways I don't realize, because I've lived here most of my life. I don't realize that some things are maybe that different, but some people will see it. And so it's just a way to share all the things that I am living and enjoying, and hopefully encourage someone else on the way.
Yeah, and that's all. I think that's one of all of our biggest goals, and we like to encourage each other to, because when you're giving it out, you receive it back, and you get. Yeah. So that's that connection back and forth. Because if we don't have that encouragement, it will get a lot messier than what we might be able to get out of.
No, and I've had some really sweet messages. Like, I don't have a very big blog or YouTube channel, so it's not like hundreds of people are seeing it yet. But just a few, and moms who have written back that it encourages them what they've read, and that to me is a big encouragement. I'm doing what I want to do, blessing someone else, even while I'm here at home with my little ones, and can't take a lot of time for pouring into others, but even so, I am being a blessing in a small way. And so that's really, really helped me to find some fulfillment too, and then to be able to enjoy motherhood too, because I know I'm doing some of my own hobbies, and so I can go and enjoy my children better in a sense, because I'm also, like I like to say, filling up my own cup so that I can better pour into their lives.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking with you these last 3 episodes, and we'll I'll put all of our contact information in the comments below, so you can contact Melinda, and you can check out all that great information she has up on her blog, and what she has to share on her YouTube channel. I was telling her that she's probably got a podcast and doesn't know it.
YouTube is more podcast style probably than it's not vlog style, but most of it anyway.
Right.
You can just since I'm encouraging moms to be present for their children, I do try to make most of the videos that you can just turn them on and listen to them while you're doing your cooking or whatever, and that you don't have to be watching all the time. So that's part of my purpose. My purpose isn't to take a bunch of time away from mom, because then I'd be defeating the purpose of what I'm doing too. So
that's wonderful that they can just turn it on and listen, and still get that great information and wisdom from you without having to like we've been talking about, scheduling your time, and so unless they listen during their quiet time. Right.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you again for joining us, and we'll hopefully get to connect with Melinda later on, and I'm glad you were here with me on Tea Time with Afternoon Social.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a privilege.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.